Guys, welcome back to the channel. It is the 4th of March, Saturday morning. We are looking over here on tradingview.com. We're going to take a look at the daily Casper / Tether chart. Ticker symbol CSPR USDT. Casper had a very nice day yesterday, the 3rd. Friday the 3rd, it was a closing up 8.15% for this pair here, this chart. We hit a upper level. We completed two upper levels actually, and we're getting a pretty aggressive pullback so far today. But keep in mind that the Casper video I put out last was not a candle close video. So I spoke about two different scenarios playing out. When the video was being recorded, this candle was not up 8% by any means. It was actually down quite a bit. So it wasn't a very bullish candle at the time. Taking some heat for that, we had a very bullish close. Heading back to today, not the most bullish candle. Once again, keep in mind though, this is not a closed candle, so this thing could easily reverse back to the upside and be a green candle. I want you guys to understand that it's better to wait for the candle close to take your full opinion, if I could say it like that anyways. So we had a solid breakout above the 415 level, which is right here. Very, very nice to see. We have been battling that level basically since the middle or so of January. We did break out above that in early February, ultimately getting back down below that. Once again, finding resistance all the way up until basically yesterday, the 3rd, was where we finally broke out, and that was a very strong close. We're getting a solid pullback today. So far on today's candle, we did trade all the way up to our 466 level. Look how perfect we hit that level right here. Our high is 466, and go back to our most recent Casper videos, we've had 466 on our screens for probably longer than I can recall. So that is overhead resistance. Talk about it in videos. Lines above the market act as resistance. Lines below the market act as potential support. For now, like I said, this candle is not closed. It could easily reverse throughout today and be very, very bullish and continue its momentum to the upside. We also broke these in this circle. I've had this circle here. We also broke these highs here of the 7th and 8th of February. So we have a new high in here, but like I said, it's reversing pretty strong. On the positive side, guys, so far today anyways, we're finding support at 415. So we actually ping-pong today in between two of our levels. We hit our upper level, and we are back down, finding support at a lower level, like a ping-pong ball, back and forth. That 415 level also, guys, is the top end of this range here. It's the top end of this range. So basic TA resistance, it breaks out, it pulls back, turns into support, and then can continue on to the upside. So we could just easily be seeing that this pullback is nothing more than a back test to old resistance turning into support, and then the price will continue to the upside. We don't know how long the price will be down here. Like I said, this candle is not closed, so it could easily reverse throughout today after finding support at 415 and continue its momentum back to the upside. Yesterday's close was very strong, so that's That's a good thing to see for the bulls. Very impressive day, especially as Bitcoin has not been doing the greatest. Today's candle could be nothing more than a pullback. Of course, I could be wrong. This thing could drop like a rock, but right now we're finding support at an area where it should. The top end of this range, also one of our levels, which was below the market, and right now it's still below the market. 415 is that area we're trading at 420. So we do have another high here. The next major level to keep your eye on above the market would be basically 509, 522, 524. That's these three areas right up in here. That takes us right up to these highs over in here, major area to break above. And if you take your charts here and zoom out, you can see once we get above that level, it's up to the 5-7 area, into the 6s, and even the 7s. So Casper is holding on very strong in the midst of a very not as strong looking, I should say, Bitcoin right now. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick, guys. We got the close below 22.5. So far, we're not continuing that momentum to the downside today. So that is good to see. So we could easily reverse today and be back above 22.5 and perhaps ready for that next leg up, which we would be looking for either a, let me get my brush tool, either a higher high immediately, or we'll see a rally here to a lower high. We'll see a pullback to a higher low, maybe to that 22.5, and then that next swing higher gives us that higher high. And we have confirmed our change in trend. Bitcoin will be back in a uptrend. So that is Bitcoin, but very impressive to see Casper holding its own in the midst of a very weak Bitcoin. Maybe not today so much, but yesterday was a very nice day, very nice close. And if today is just a one-day wonder, then there shouldn't be too much trouble ahead, if any. But if the price does continue to show weakness, then this breakout could be, could be a failed breakout essentially. And, that's that. We're pulling back here pretty aggressively, back down to the 415. I still keep my lower target here down to the 284 range. But like I've mentioned in the last video, as the price continues higher, I don't expect the price to make it down to that 284, assuming things drop like a rock. That target was put in on a date, the 26th, 25th, 27th of February. So those prices will be higher. But just keep your eye on today's candle. Like I said, it's not a close yet. Until that candle closes, we don't really know. We can just kind of watch it real time. Just like yesterday's candle. Yesterday's candle was weak. When I did my video, it was not looking good. Very close, very strong close. Total change of opinion. Looks very solid. Today, a little bit of a different story. Not the greatest candle so far. Until we get our close, we don't really know. But keep in mind, though, anything is possible. I'm watching my 415. I'll keep an eye on this white support line running up here. And if we get it back into that range, it's possible that we candle wick just like we did on yesterday's candle, back down into this range and then get a close back above the 415 level. If you look at yesterday's candle traded all the way down to a low of 397, which was into this range. It was actually below our white line here of support, call it a 45-degree support, and it actually is above here on the 415. All right, guys. So that is a little bit of the chart. Try to stay somewhat unbiased here, giving you both scenarios, both to the downside and to the upside. Let's take a look at the RSI. Guys, I want to thank you to all of these subscribers. I appreciate you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, this channel would not be what it is and what it is becoming. Thank you very much. If you are not yet subscribed, guys, hit that subscribe button. Join us here. We do stock, futures, cryptocurrency videos. We're looking at the RSI here. So the RSI is definitely in the upper end of its range. We could see that. Let me see if I can fix this a little bit. The RSI, I'm trying to pull this up. I guess I can't really do that. Anyways, the RSI as of yesterday was in the upper end of the range, which would be, I believe it's the 70 mark, if I'm correct. Let me try to fix this again. Or it's the 60 mark. No, 70, excuse me. And we're getting a pullback. Now, that doesn't mean the price has topped out by any means. We're not at the lower end of the range. We're at the upper end of the range. So we could see some sideways pullback according to the RSI. Now, we have seen the RSI. Let me show you this. Thanks for hanging in here, guys. Thanks for watching the video. We have seen the RSI. So let's take this date right here. Let me circle it for you so it's a little bit easier to stand out if you're on a mobile device. This whole range right here, guys, big circle right there. This date, the 7th of October, right, was a nice day. We traded all the way up to our 363, 366. Look where the RSI was on that day. The RSI was at a 73, right? So higher than we were yesterday. Yesterday we were at a RSI of 68, so a couple points higher. We had a basically, let's see here, that would be a, how many days pullback would that be? We had a 5-day pullback. On our 5th day, we had an RSI of a 59. Then what did the price of Casper do? It rocketed another 63% to the upside. It finished off with a RSI at 84. So basically what I'm trying to say here is just because the RSI right now is in the higher end of the scale here, doesn't mean that the price is going to reverse and the RSI is going to get all the way back down to something like it was here, which was in the 20s. So we could do a couple days, maybe longer, maybe less, of a pullback here for the chart. The RSI a pullback, which it already is in a pretty aggressive manner, and then the price could skyrocket here and we can move up into the 80s because we've seen that take place before. So for what that's worth, that's where like the RSI, in my opinion, is a really, really good indicator for the extremes. So extremely oversold markets and extremely overbought markets. So let's take a look right here on this date. This date is the 17th of October. The RSI is 84. Now, you could have argued that the market was overbought on the 16th of October. We had a 77 RSI. But the market moved again another 16% the next day, and the RSI went up to 84. So if you're trying to step in front of that and, maybe you're not short selling Casper, but you got to be careful with that. Markets can really grind higher and stay overbought for a while, whereas the oversold is a little bit more narrowed in. But like I said, I think the RSI is a much better indicator for the extremes, not so much in the middle. At least that's what I have found. Like I said, I don't use it much. I recently put it on the screen here, and we'll keep it there for now. We'll say that. So there could be plenty of life to the upside for this chart. Today's pullback is very aggressive so far. We'll see how far it goes. It's a little bit of a concern. Going back to what I said, it's not a candle close yet. We got to wait for the candle close. We'll come out with another video when that takes place. It would be good to see not a full retrace of yesterday's candle, which would take us down to a low of 39.7397. That would be another, call it 5%, 4 to 5% lower if we did a full retrace. That would actually be quite bearish. But right now, hang in there, guys. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Wait for that candle close. There's a lot of potential support at the top end of this range. So we're going to see if the candle can find support there. If we wick down and then close above 415, that would be the best case scenario right now. You guys have a great weekend. We'll be back throughout the weekend with some more videos. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, of course, about Casper. Any other videos you would like to see, feel free to leave those down there as well. We had a very nice Friday for the stock market. We look forward to next week. It would be nice. We look forward to Bitcoin. We'll see if Bitcoin can get back above and start a next leg higher. And that is what really will light the fire under some of these cryptos and get them to really start moving to the upside. Whether that happens or not, we're keeping an eye on Bitcoin. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.